Hi, Sagittarius. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a monthly forecast for the sign of Sagittarius. So, if you have Sag anywhere in your chart, maybe you vibe with Sag, maybe you're a cross watcher, whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate for you. As always, this is the internet, so take what resonates and leave what does not. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Sagittarius, we will be doing a Celtic cross today. So that just gives me the widest view of your month, everything going on, what we need to talk about, what your guides want me to address. Cards been falling on the floor all day. And things of that nature. So let's get a few more cards out and then we're going to dive into it. You feel a little, how do I explain this? Flustered, Sag, to me. It feels like you may have a month that just has you a little discombobulated is how this is coming through. But okay, let's dive in. Let's talk about it. Bottom of the deck is your challenge, represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. You've got the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Swords. The Empress is there as well. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Sag, I heard this really loud. Your challenge this month is chasing your dream. Chasing your dreams. Um, it feels like with this Knight of Swords here and the Ace of Cups, some of you may be going after like this is really specific, so please only take this if this resonates for you. Higher education, like going back to college, I almost want to say here. As always, like if you never had even a second thought to go back to college, then that's not for you, but that's coming through, so I have to address it. Some of you are really going after what you want, chasing what you want, and I feel like for some of you, maybe for a majority of you even, it's literal like goals, like physical things that you're going after here, not like a sense of, emotional goals. It feels physical to me. With that Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords, I feel like, again, going back to something is prevalent for someone here. Like, going back to maybe you went to school, you were going to go to school, but then you deferred and then you never went back. There's like a weird thing about school coming through, Sag. So take that for what it resonates, but it does feel like you guys are following your inner compass here, like your own inner guidance and going where you want to go to get to that future that you are looking for. So let's dive in. Let's talk about it. You start with the Nine of Wands. So I think this is interesting because whatever you guys seem to be going after is also kind of triggering you, right? Because you weren't able to go after it at a point in time, and now as an adult you can, and it's bringing up sort of this like wave of harsh to say, wave of like bad emotions. Please keep in mind there is no such thing as a good or bad emotion. There is just emotion. When you judge an emotion, it creates a response to that emotion that's not very accurate because you're placing that lens of judgment over it. It's not your actual true feelings. It's just like that. It's almost like a programmed feeling when you judge something, right? Because it's what you've been programmed to think about it instead of what you actually do think about it. So a lot of you, this like wave is sort of like crashing into you as you're going to do this thing or going after whatever this is in September, and it feels like you're trying to almost stay on the boat. Like a lot of water imagery is coming through today, so you may have water in your chart because it's almost like I keep seeing like literally on like a little fishing boat and you're just trying to like navigate it. Because you've also got the Five of Pentacles here. I think this is bringing up a part of you that felt abandoned for a really long time. This is your crossing card. So in the Celtic cross, the crossing card either helps you or hinders you. This is kind of a little bit of both, right? When we're triggered, it is a help in that it shows us where the wounding is, but obviously it's a hindrance because we're triggered. okay, where we go off the deep end. It feels like, Sag, with this Five of Pentacles, there was a part of you at some point, probably in early childhood, because that's when we're like we need the most care, right? Where as a species, early life for humans, we can't really do much for ourselves. But if it seems like as you got older, it's almost like I want to say, oh, I hate the way my guides are saying this to me. It was like your flame was snuffed out. Like you may have had a flame or a burning passion about something, and as you got older, it was snuffed out of you. So you never chased after it. And it feels like now that you are finally getting to that, it's bringing up this feeling of like, oh, I was abandoned. You know, oh, no one actually helped me. No one showed me how to do it. So now I'm just having to do it myself. It feels like you've lived a life where you've done a lot of things by yourself. You know, like you've gone after your own goals. You put yourself, you know, maybe you're putting yourself through school right now. Like I said, there's a lot of school stuff coming through. But it feels like you're putting yourself first after. It's hard because it feels like you've always put yourself first, but always your needs, not your wants. Like, you know how in college, for those of you that went to college, this is the example I'll give you. If you are new to college, this is how my experience went. But when you first get into college, for like the first 2 years, it's just what you need to take. Okay? It wasn't until after my first 2 years did I start, my last 2 years of college was actually classes I wanted to take and classes I was interested in. Okay? So that's how this kind of feels. Like you're finally getting to that point in your life where you're taking the classes you want to take, not the classes you have to take. You've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse here, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. I think this is also going to be a hefty bill for some of you, is how this is coming through. Six of Pentacles in the reverse is like lack of equal give and take. I think you're also triggered by the fact that when you were younger, for whatever reason, you were not allowed to go after this. There's like a sense of, no, you can't do that. So I think you're a little triggered by that because it's bringing up that feeling of like, oh, no one's helping me. Again, Six of Pentacles in reverse, no one's giving to me. The Three of Pentacles is teamwork, collaboration, work. And then the Five of Pentacles is abandonment. So you have the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So it just kind of feels rough, Sag. I'm not going to lie to you. It's almost like touching sandpaper. You know, it's like the things that you're processing right now in order to get through where you are they're quite brutal. They're quite painful. And so it feels like there needs to be a little bit more care and tenderness within you this month. You're really going to want to give into like some self-care here. So whether or not that is spa days or, I don't know, a haircut, whatever that is, give yourself some self-care this month because you're going to need it. Okay, in your headspace, you have the Hanged Man. So like I said, headspace, Hanged Man card of Pisces. You could have Pisces in your chart, a lot of water coming through. Hanged Man is hanging ourselves upside down from the tree branch to gain higher enlightenment. It is to get that new perspective, to see something in a different angle, from a different angle. So it does feel like you are being... It's like you're looking at things in a different light, in a different way. And it feels exhausting, I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime the paradigm within our own mind is shifting, it can be quite exhausting. It can be a lot, okay? Okay, this is so random. I'll say it. I don't know. It's for someone. You need to buy deodorant. You're like out of deodorant or something. It's funny. It's like my guides are reminding you about your shopping list. Ten of Cups, Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm understanding this now. You're also kind of nervous because you don't know if this is going to make you happy. I mean, Sag, there's only one way to know, and it's try it. What's the worst thing that happens? You don't go? Maybe you do a semester and you're like, hey, this really isn't for me, and that's it. You know, I think a lot of you guys are also learning that you may not know yourself as well as you think you know yourself. It feels like you're looking at the world and you're like, well, I think I like this, but do I? You got to just try it, babe. Okay? Very recently, I'll tell you a real world example of this. I used to draw when I was younger. I got snuffed out just like you. I was like dogged on for drawing, so I stopped drawing altogether. And then I took it back up as an adult at 30 years old. And I drew for a couple of months, and then I decided, you know what? This is really for me. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got back into it. I enjoyed it. This isn't where my passion lies. That's okay to decide. You are allowed to try something here, Sag. I think that's what you guys need to remind yourself of a little bit more frequently, is that you are allowed to try things and then decide whether or not they make you happy. This is not a prison. You know, you don't have to take a semester of college and then suddenly you're trapped there for 4 years, you know? So I think you guys, again, this comes back to that self-care aspect, needing to be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more compassionate, and a little bit kinder to yourself, right? In your physical world, you have the High Priestess. So another card of Pisces. Love this. Um, with the High Priestess in your physical world, Sagittarius, I also feel like you're not really talking to a lot of people right now about this. I think you're pretty insular about your feelings and your emotions and what's going on. And this might be a good time to practice getting some feelings out. Calling up a friend and being like, hey, you want to come over and drink some wine and talk some shit, and get your feelings out. The way my guides are saying this to me is like, when people lend you an ear, you need to learn to take it. Because you bottle, yeah, and then you explode. I think I talked about that in the Pisces reading. I would watch that. Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Swords in the reverse, and the Three of Cups. You have to remember here, Sagittarius, that your friends are not here to judge you. Your friends are not here to hurt you. They're not here to make fun of you. Okay? If they are genuine connection, genuine friends, they're going to understand it. I think that your reading, it reads very, I've been chronically misunderstood my whole life. And I feel like if this is something you've struggled with, you got to find people with common ground. When we're being misunderstood, it's because we don't really have common ground with the person we're talking to. The example I'll give you, which I give all the time, is let's say you love to play volleyball and your friend, you're like, oh, my friend said to try something new, so I'm going to try an underwater basket weaving class. And you start taking the class and you realize that you don't like it. You fucking hate underwater basket weaving. And you make friends in the class, and suddenly you're like a week into knowing these people and you're like, oh, I don't really like these people either. The reason you don't like them is because their interests are so different from yours. They are passionate about underwater basket weaving. They love it, and you could give two shits about it. Okay? Go take that volleyball class. Take that class with people that you want to relate to and can talk to and find that common ground with. But when we're misunderstood, it's because we're at the wrong table. Okay, that's what that boils down to. You're at a table with people that, whether they are committed to misunderstanding you or not, they're not for you. Okay, so Sag, this feels like a moment to recalibrate and reroute yourself a little bit, okay? Because here in the past, you do have the World. So some of you could have moved. There could have been a physical relocation here, but I do feel like for most of you, there's been some cycles that have closed down. There's been some endings that have happened that then birthed these like new sort of beginnings. And I feel like you're a little off kilter with the new beginnings. And I think this comes back to, again, not being accepted, like this wound around acceptance. Knight of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. Exactly. Like, who's going to accept me? Who's going to talk to me? You got to start using your intuition a little bit more. Listening to your voice. Calm the mental chatter down. Okay. Your voice up here. This is thought. This is anxiety. This is thinking. Your intuition is back here. For me, it's back left. Other people, it's back right. Everywhere, it's going to come from somewhere else for you. It's going to be smaller, though. It's going to be quieter. That's how intuition works. So you got to listen to the quiet voices by quieting the louder voices. Okay? Get off that hamster wheel. 'Cause, again, this is a But it feels like you're very worried about, as you move into this next phase of your life, are you going to meet people that misunderstand you? Not if you are meeting the correct people, which you will be if you are in the correct room at the right table. Do you see what I mean here? Queen of Wands, Two of Swords, Four of Wands. I'm telling you guys, this is reading like a literal book. If you do not have common ground with people, if you are not sharing interests, experience, traumas, whatever this is, you will not get along. You may get along, but you're not going to exactly love to be around them. Do you know what I mean? It feels like coming from this whatever turbulence you experienced here in the past that kind of uprooted you and made you be like, oh my God, and look around, it's resulting in a world where you're like, okay, well, how do I make sure this doesn't happen again? You got to make sure there's common ground, common interests, common things, that you think the same, that your moral compass points the same way. Okay, that's what's going to lead you to success here. The Queen of Wands, again, she's passionate. If you're not passionate, if you're passionate about, I don't know, this is my favorite kind of pen. What is this? This is the Bic. I can't read that. Whatever. This is my favorite kind of pen. I'm passionate about this pen. I love this pen. If I met someone else that was like, I love that pen, that's my favorite pen to use, automatically, that's a bitch I want to hang out with. Okay, but if someone said to me, oh, I hate that pen, it's my least favorite pen to use. So what kind of pen do you like? The ones where they're like, it's literal ink, like ink blots? Because I hate those. Do you see what I mean? It's a small example, and obviously you're not basing your friendships off of pens, but it goes back to, are we having that common ground? Can we meet in the middle? Can we talk? Can we have laughs? You know, that's what it comes down to. Queen of Wands is passionate. She takes a stand. You guys have to start taking stands here, okay? Because in your near future, you do have the Nine of Pentacles. Very self-sufficient. Looking good. Making money. Looking good while making money. You know, like you are killing it, Sagittarius, this month. And it shows. Death, Seven of Cups. But yeah, things are changing, babe. Death is the death of the ego. Seven of Cups, Page of Cups. Use your self-sufficiency and your platform, wherever you are, to springboard yourself towards things that you actually want to do. Okay, with the Death card showing up, it is the death of the ego. This is the death of like the persona you're putting forward into the world. And maybe that's the persona that loves underwater basket weaving. Babe, if you don't love underwater basket weaving, it's time to let go of it. Release it here, because with that Seven of Cups and the Page of Cups again, how else can I say this? Your new life, the new version of your life, you are going to find new people that have walked the path with you, that have healed as much as you, and you're going to look back at the old version of your life over here and those people and realize that you don't have anything in common anymore. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have these two distinctly different worlds that you've traversed through to the other. You can't go backwards, okay? I think back to when I was living in New York before moving to Pennsylvania, and I was much younger, and I think back to the people that I surrounded myself with, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so horrible. I can never go back to people like that. That's what I'm telling you, Sag. As you come into this new life, the new world where you are, where you're following your passions, following your heart, and getting to where you need to get to, you will realize that the people you have already left behind, you can never go back to that. You can never go back to where you've come from. That's why you're not finding middle ground, because you're going back, you're going to new people that remind you of the old people that you're not supposed to talk to anymore because you have nothing left in common with them. Do you see what I mean? Okay. How you view yourself is the Six of Swords. I think you are very well aware, Sag, that you've done the work. You know, Six of Swords, as my view of myself, is like, well, I did it. I walked away. I traversed the waters. I got to the other side, which is amazing. You know, you have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. You're like, I did that shit. I'm an icon, and you are. So you got to start acting like it, okay? No more settling. King of Pentacles. No more settling, babe. Wheel of Fortune and the World. Some of you could be moving. Wheel of Fortune World is really big moving energy. Wheel of Fortune with the World and the King of Pentacles. This next phase of your life, Sag, that you're walking into, probably in September, because this is for September, is a very fated month for you. It's going to bring up a lot of, yes, some struggles, some trials and tribulations, but who doesn't encounter that on the road to living their best life and living their truth? Okay? With the World and the Wheel of Fortune and this King of Pentacles, I think you're going to be stepping into a more masculine energy this month as well, like a more established, a more forward energy. King of Pentacles, maybe you get promoted or get a new job where there's like managerial work or entrepreneur energy. But you're coming into a very strong seat of power here and a very strong seat of control for yourself this month. And I feel like that's, again, really good. You just don't want to get lost in the work, right? We have to heal and do our work. We exist in capitalism. You all know that. But we also have to go out and have fun and inject whimsy into our life. I don't know why whimsy has been coming up so much this week for me. It's like my word of the week is whimsy. It's been coming up in readings. It's been coming up in my personal life, in my friends' lives. Like, whimsy is the theme this week. And if you don't have that, what do you have? Work? Ooh. You know, your superpower right now is the Knight of Wands. So I do love this, Sag, because it does feel like you are not afraid to try new things here. You know, I think this is you, your friend being like, hey, let's take a salsa dancing class. And you're like, okay, great. Your other friend's like, hey, let's go to an axe throwing bar. Okay, sold. You know, I think that you need to try new things, again, to find the people that you're meant to meet. To find the people and get to the connections that you are meant to have this month. To get you to the next month, you have to go out of your comfort zone and try new things. Which, I feel like this is your superpower. I don't think you're scared of it. I think you're aware of it. Yeah, Four of Swords. You may have taken a small break here. My guide said only 2, so okay. Four of Swords, the Emperor, exactly. You've taken a small break, but you're going to come right back swinging. Especially with that divine masculine energy. The Emperor, girl, that's BDE. Okay? Regardless of who you are, what you're working with, gender, all these things. Emperor is the top of the top. Okay? It is very strong divine masculine energy. It is taking control. It is charging forward. It's doing what you need to do. Okay? We're not sitting down at tables that aren't meant for us anymore. Why? Because we have our own. And that's what's up. Okay? You're creating your table this month, Sag. You really are. Okay? This is a positive reading. Your fear is the Nine of Swords. I think your fear here is that you're overthinking. Your fear is that you may be doing something wrong as well. Like, am I right? Am I walking the right path? Am I on track right now? Let me tell you something else. In the over 5 years I've been doing this, I have never once said to a client or a collective, you are off path. The idea of being off path was popularized by modern spirituality. It is not a reality. I shouldn't say that. It's a reality for very, 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 very few people. Okay? Being off path is so, like I said, 5+ years, I've never said that once to someone. Oh, hey, you're off path. You're not. You're where you need to be, Sag. You're doing it. You just got to trust yourself. Nine of Swords, you've got to stop overthinking. The Nine of Swords on the Nine of Swords is overthinking to the max. 2 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 3 of Wands. It's because you're struggling to, like, it can be jarring to step into a new identity. To step into a new version of yourself is a very disarming thing, and it feels foreign, so I understand that. You got to roll with it. You got to trust and fake it till you make it. Trust that this is where you're meant to be. This is the energy you're meant to be in. And then keep walking. You can't be afraid here. You have to trust that you're doing what's best for you. Okay? This is like really, really a positive month for you. There's a lot of movement forward for you. There's a lot of executive decision making, and there's a lot of places like reclaiming places of power for you. Okay? So being in that new version, it feels different and it feels weird, but you just got to keep practicing until you get used to it. Like the first time when I was in hairdressing school, when you're taught to hold the scissors, it feels weird because we all hold scissors with all of our fingers, and in the hairdressing school you've only got one finger in a hole and you use your thumb to cut. Okay, you don't use both fingers, it's just the thumb. So it's jarring and it's odd, but I got used to it, and then I was like, oh, this shit's easy. Okay, that's where you are, guys. You're in that moment of like, okay, I have to get used to it so then I can be like, oh, this shit is easy. Your outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Don't rush. Sag, do not rush. Have patience. Okay? Slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to get to the other side to get to where you want in a night. It's not going to happen. Okay? So allow yourself some grace here. Allow yourself to move at the speed at which you need to move at. And don't expect everything to happen overnight. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, Ace of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Babe, you're doing great. I have to tell you. Okay? I know that you don't feel like you are, but you are. All those goals that you've set for yourself in the past, you smashed them. You did it. I said that in the beginning. You were literally you're trying to smash more goals here. Girlie, you have pushed through every goal you have set for yourself here. You have done the damn thing. Have more faith in yourself. Have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more patience, but also a lot of bit more faith. Okay? You've made it through a lot of tough things, a lot of tough cycles, and right now this isn't even a tough cycle. It is. It's tough, but not for the reasons you're used to, where it's like egregiously difficult and painful. It's tough because it's new and it's uncomfortable. Okay? But you just gotta keep going to acclimate to it. Okay? Let's get you an oracle card, Sag. This is the Angelarium, my favorite oracle deck to date. Beautiful artwork, reads us to filth. It's an absolute amazing deck, and I use it for everything. So, let's get into it. What is the advice for Sag for September? What's the advice here, please? Thank you. Interesting. Zadkiel, Angel of Mercy. She's number 67 for those of us into numerology. Okay. You have been given permission to act, but your actions don't come without a price to others. The moments when you feel the most justified are also when you need to show the greatest respect to others. If there is an opportunity to be merciful, put down your sword and let your power speak for itself. Interesting. This to me speaks more to the fact that if people see that you've grown past their drama and whatever they brought to the table, they don't even reapproach the table. They just know it. Okay? Let that speak for you. Have some mercy if you need to. Okay? Sag, that is your reading. That's what I've got for you guys for the month of September. All right. Very positive. This was a great one. If this reading resonated with you or my reading style resonates with you, do consider liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. Okay? Sag, I leave you with that. I hope to see you over on Twitch one of these days, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Okay? Bye.